Hey y'all, how are you this morning? It's late for me for my live, but I'm just making myself come on and get on with the badassery of the day. Thanks to Miss Georgia London for inspiring me to use Facebook Live to kind of spread my brave healing message. So, you guys want to know what the most common question I get about the intuitive writing is? It's what is TMI? As far as the TMI is actually something I don't really believe in a whole lot. And if you've been watching my journey, you know that I share pretty transparent, authentic, real, raw, vulnerable stories with you by blog, maybe a little less by live, because I'm just sort of getting used to being able to do that. But TMI is bullshit because everybody has been through everything. I mean, there are 7 billion people on the planet, you guys. We've been through basically everything you've been through. I mean, you're never alone in your secrets. You're never alone in your shame, in your pieces of unworthiness that you're feeling during the day, your doubt and your uncertainty. So here's the thing, like, if you've been called to share your story and be seen and present yourself in the world to help other people, you know, don't you kind of think that you got to go first? I mean, as healers, we're asking our clients to do this every single day. We want them to be real and vulnerable and like release and let go and let it out and bring the stuff up to be healed. And yet we're standing there not really sure what we should be sharing because it might be TMI. So if you're a healer, be the trailblazer. And that might require a little bit of badassery on your part. It might require a little bit of courage. It might require you to go to the next deepest layer for your own evolution. So how cool is that, honestly? I mean, if you chose to be a healer and do amazing things in the world to help other people, you're already on that journey. You already are a special small percentage of the world who actually chose it. So I guess what I'm saying about TMI, especially for like writing, because what gets in people's way is they get blocked up right away with, oh my God, this is going to be too much. I'm too much, or it's not going to be good enough. Somebody's going to be upset or offended or disappointed by what I wrote. You know, oh no, what if, right? And the inner critic goes nuts. And then you're paralyzed. And then you have then you've got writer's block, but actually it's not writer's block at all. And if you've heard me say it before, I'm going to say it again. It's a strong statement. Writer's block is for sissies. I mean, if you are a writer and you're getting blocked up by your inner critic voice because you're not sure what's TMI and it just shuts you down and paralyzes you from posting that amazing message about your story, it's probably time to get over it and get a version of that story out into the world that still feels good to you. That's possible. I think what really blocks people up is this idea of all or nothing. So what about a version of the story that works for you, that feels good, that still feels like your truth, but doesn't give up all your secrets or whatever? Like, there's a million ways to talk about this. So as a healer and a writer, and I love to call myself an intuitive writing strategist now, because so as all of those things, I really love helping other healers to move through that inner critic message, or 100 of them, and move through the fear that we have of TMI, what if this, what if that, and just start to hit publish as a way of practicing what you preach, walking your walk. You are trailblazing by doing that. There are people watching your journey. It's important. You matter. Your story matters. You were born, so you're worthy. And so if you're like me and you've got this calling inside of you to do amazing things in the world, and you know it's time to step it all up, yeah, right? So take the action, because the action is the magic that moves you the next step. It's not thinking any harder about it. It's not striving for being perfect or saying it in a perfect way or even being a perfect writer about it. It's really about taking the action to move you through the fear so that you can get on with the next best step on your own journey. And my mission was calling so loud inside of me that I just decided to write it. I decided to get out in front of people and speak it, and Facebook Live is another way to do that, right? So how cool that we get to share our messages globally these days. Think about that. And if you have online offerings these days, you get to touch so many more of those 7 billion people. It's a freaking miracle to me. It really is. So you can tell I have a lot of good energy about this, and I really am about being able to step into that energy any moment you choose and let it overpower your fear so that you can share the message even while you're feeling a little bit afraid about it. This journey of mine has been coached. I've had help moving through those layers in lots of different ways. So remember, you're not alone, and all you need to do is reach out a hand and grab somebody else's and get going on that journey for yourself. There's many, many, many different ways to share your story in a very impactful way and start to build the business that you crave and the legacy you were born for. And you know, I'm 50, soon to be 51 actually in the new year. And it's burning in me so bright because sooner or later you get this sort of, YOLO, life is short, like, let's get on with it. I don't want to spend the rest of my days in fear, and I don't want to spend any of them in a regret that I didn't do what I was meant to do. And so, yeah, so if you want to join my party, the best, cool, quickest way to do that is to come pop in my free group, you guys. The Brave Healers Mastermind and Refuge is just a place where I'm giving you some inspiration and answering questions. There's a whole lot of heart-centered, non-judgmental, safe space people in there who are all doing this with us. So come on in the group and, be a part of the revolution, a Brave Healer Revolution, and join this party, this brave party that we're starting. So I hope you guys have a really great Wednesday, middle of the week. Drop a comment on the video. Tell me what kind of badassery you're up to this week. All right, have a good one, you guys. See ya.